for one and for all. That one person doesn't take advantage at the expense of everyone else, and that all of us together work collectively for the common good. And our notion of society essentially boils down to this idea of norms. The mores and the expectations we have for ourselves and for others around us, what identifies us characteristically, behaviorally, attitudinally, as a community, as people belonging to a particular group. So our commitment to social justice is just exactly that. Our commitment to live and to advance the cause of what's right and what's good. And our focus is to ensure that the society in which we live is a place, is a setting, is a condition that supports what's good and right for all of us who make up that society. And as psychologists, and in particular as school psychologists, we're uniquely placed to be able to have that influence. It's important for us to recognize what it is so that we can pursue it in a way that's likely to make a difference. We already make a difference. This is one more very important way for us to do so. That's it. That's my privilege for tonight. Thank you for listening. As all of you know, every year TASP is committed to CALC, basically to an organization or an activity in the community in which we have our conference, right, which serves the needs of those that basically have needs in that community. I'd like to invite David up to go ahead and introduce this year's CALC recipient, and also to tell you a little bit about who they are and what they do. David?
Good evening. For those of you who do not know me, I am David Kane, the Area 3 representative, and it is my pleasure to let you know that this year TASP decided to partner for CALC with Bo's Place here in Houston. They provide bereavement services for children and families, and I have a representative from Bo's Place here to tell you a little bit more about the organization. Please give a warm welcome to Mary Beth Stain.
Thank you for having me here today. My name is Mary Beth Stain, and I'm the Executive Director for Bo's Place, which is a bereavement center here in the greater Houston area that we will be celebrating 30 years of service to children and families in 2020. Cool. At Bo's Place, we started as an information and referral line when two clinicians both experienced the death of a child, and they realized that there were no services for children and families in our community. So they started with that information and referral line in their house, in a closet, and quickly realized that more was needed for our community, and so they wanted to have a place for families to go, a safe place where they could share with others who had experienced the death of a loved one. And so they approached the Nyhouse family, who had lost their son 10 years previously, and asked if they could name this special place Bo's Place. And the Nyhouse family did agree to that, and is still involved with us to this day. Bo's little brother was our board president 5 years ago, so time passes. But what we currently offer, we have fast forwarded to way beyond what they originally thought we would do. We do have an information and referral line. We responded to almost 4,000 inquiries for support from families, from schools, from mental health professionals who just wanted extra help with having access to a mental health professional on my staff. I have 10 staff members who have they're either LCSWs or they are LPCs. We staff our information and referral line. It's not a hotline, but what it is during working hours, people can get access to a mental health professional, whether it's to talk about the death just occurred, how do I tell my kids that their dad died while they were in school? Do we take the kids to the funeral? How do we manage that process? We really would like to get some other services. What can you provide us? That's what we're able to provide at Bose Place. We also do support groups. We started with family support groups, so they come with their family, but then they break up into peer groups. So the children are in age-appropriate groups and the adults or guardians are in separate groups. Last year we served 1,400 people in grief support groups at Bose Place. What I really am so excited to tell you about is that we've expanded into schools, because we know that not all the kids who need support or their parents can be able to get them to a place like Bose Place. So we started doing school groups, and we also do trainings called Good Grief to school personnel to tell them about what best practices might be and how they can support those kiddos in their classes. What the Good Grief program actually provides that the schools and the teachers and the counselors really want is activities they can do with those kids. And our hope, we just passed a new strategic plan, is that we will be able to, by next year, expand from 8 schools to 30 schools. And so any donations you might make today will help us get to that goal of making sure those kids in most need in our community can get access to support at a safe place for them. So I thank you for having me here. If you have any questions, I did want to tell you, we are part of the National Alliance for Grieving Children. There are bereavement centers across the country and across the state of Texas. If you ever want to find out if there are resources in your community and don't know how to do that, you can contact Bose Place, because we have access to that and we provide that information all the time. But I'd love for y'all to know that you're not alone in doing this work. There are community resources out there and we can help get them to you. So in case you want to write it down, my email is marybeth, MARYBETH @boseplace.org, and I would love to hear from you and connect you with people that might be helpful to you. Thank you so much.
All right, next, Cassie Gregory will be doing the graduate student scholarships.
All right, every year we are able to give out 4 $500 scholarships through TASP to help support our new professionals as they come into the field. And so this year's award winners, the first one is going to be Kamara Barnett. She's here. All right. Ms. Barnett is a third-year graduate student from the University of Houston, Clear Lake. She began her college experience in science, graduating with a BS in chemistry from Jarvis Christian College in Hawkins, Texas in 2009. After serving as a teaching assistant for urban communities, providing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics instruction, she returned to school and earned a Master of Arts in Teaching degree from Texas Women's University. She's now completing her LSSP internship, and she's worked with the UT Health Lone Star Lind Fellowship that works with families of individuals with disabilities, and as a program coordinator for ARC of the Greater Houston area. Excellent. All right, our second recipient is Annabelle Meyer. Unfortunately, she's not able to make it this evening. She's a second-year doctoral student at Texas Tech University. Annabelle is a bilingual school psychologist as well as a BCBA. She's passionate about providing evidence-based and culturally competent guidance in an effort to prevent disproportionate representation of minority students. Annabelle is currently employed in Dallas ISD, providing preventative and supportive services to all students, including general education students. And we congratulate her on her award. Our third recipient is Emily Wingate. Emily is a fifth-year graduate student at the University of South Florida. She is currently completing her internship at Cypress Fairbanks ISD, serving on the mental health intervention team. And Emily has extensive research experience. Some areas of interest of her research include theory of care, social justice, positive psychology, and equality. Emily has set a professional goal of building the capacity of adults to support student mental health in schools. And our final award winner is Jennifer Baker. Jennifer is a fourth-year graduate student at Texas Tech University. She has an interest in understanding the complex processes to effectively transition students from alternative placements back into schools. She's currently completing a mixed method study for her thesis, looking at the practices that help and hinder the facilitation of student transitions back to their home campuses. She hopes to help school leadership establish effective systems to increase communication, relationships, and create a sense of belongingness in their schools. And next we have Stephanie to do the awards.
Thank you, Cassie. I'm Stephanie Barbary. I'm the president-elect of TASP this year. It's my honor to have served on the Awards and Honors Committee. We have several awards to give out tonight, so we're going to get started with the first one, and it is the Outstanding School Psychologist at the Specialist level. This award goes to Jennifer Baker. In San Antonio, and she is also currently enrolled in the doctoral program at Texas Tech University. While juggling multiple responsibilities with graduate school and district level work, she independently wrote and was awarded a grant to execute a special project to help students with emotional difficulties to regulate their emotions and remediate behavioral skill deficits with the use of an Adidas Zone watch. Paired with social skills instruction. This unique and innovative program has received positive responses and has empowered young children in managing their own emotions. In addition to her creative work at the district level, Jennifer and her research partner at Texas Tech University investigated the quality of FBAs and BIPs using the TAPE method. She and her partner were recognized with the distinction of Best Overall Top Student Poster Presentation at the APA 2018 Division 16 Convention. Congratulations. That's exciting. Jennifer continues to improve her work, combining research, best practice, and creativity to initiate innovative interventions for her students, and you are exceptional. Congratulations. Next, we're going to do the Outstanding School Psychologist at the doctoral level. This year's recipient is Dr. Michelle Pastorek. She is As a practicing LSSP, Dr. Pastorek has always exemplified the highest standards across tasks and settings. While providing direct services in the school, she works hard to improve the academic, emotional, and behavioral functioning of her students by establishing strong relationships with students, parents, and staff. While providing indirect services, Michelle works collaboratively to communicate with and support teachers, administrators, and parents, while also working as a liaison with outside agencies and practitioners to ensure continuity of care. In 2013, Dr. Pastorek was selected to fill one of two newly created lead psychologist positions. During this time, she was able to develop her leadership skills working with departmental staff and other district leadership, while also continuing to provide psychological services to a high school and a specially designed campus for students with significant developmental disabilities. As a lead psychologist, Dr. Pastorek was an interdepartmental liaison, provided case level and guidance to staff, assisted with staff meetings, facilitated staff trainings, developed and coordinated district-wide trainings, and was a mentor to new staff. Dr. Pastoric also displays a strength in crisis intervention and management. She has trained and collaborated with district personnel on the district model of crisis response and has presented the model at the state and national levels. In 2018, Dr. Pastoric was selected among other mental health professionals to create a district-level mental health intervention team, which is designed to identify at-risk youth for harm to self and others and provide research-based best practice intervention. Dr. Pastoric is the epitome of grace, poise, and professionalism. Her service to others is humble and genuine, and her kindness is deeply felt and always appreciated. Congratulations. This year's award for outstanding delivery of school psychological services goes to Judson ISD. In addition, right there. In addition to providing services in the form of assessment, consultation, and related services counseling, each campus has implemented behavioral programs and also provides therapeutic services for students who have significant mental health needs at the Judson Care Academy. The Judson Care Academy provides a therapeutic program with smaller teacher-to-student ratios, and the teachers at Judson Care Academy are highly trained to work with students who have explosive behaviors and implications due to mental health issues. These students have access to direct counseling services as well as services from a social worker. The district also provides special transition services for adjudicated teens who have returned from detention centers back to home and school. Judson ISD has made great strides in prioritizing psychological services as well as advocating for their LSS. The administrative commitment to continue to improve services is supported by their willingness to ease the workload of LSSPs so that their students can receive quality services. Most recently, the leadership has also independently advocated for the fair compensation of LSSPs to their school board. It was phenomenal.
Whoop, whoop.
So congratulations again. Thank you. This next award is going to be presented by Ms. Donna Black. This is a very special award.
Okay, can y'all hear me okay? Good. Okay, this next award is for Dr. Ginger Gates.
Yeah.
Dr. Gates is one of the founding members of TASP and has served the organization in various positions, including president. She's one of those dead presidents. As a licensed specialist in school psychology, a licensed psychologist, and a nationally certified school psychologist, her service of 37 years to the profession has spanned the full range of practice. Her work as a school psychologist has included the roles of practitioner, behavior consultant, education specialist, pupil appraisal and psychological services coordinator, director of psychological and counseling services, executive director of special education, and most recently, director of special education solutions for the Region 4 Education Service Center. Dr. Gates is well known for her humorous and informative workshops, particularly in the area of behavior and discipline. Throughout her career, she's been sought after to provide trainings on FBAs and manifestation determination reviews at conferences, including this TASP conference, at school districts, at regional service centers. If you've ever had to present in another workshop where Dr. Gates was presenting next door, you had a challenge to keep your people engaged because the laughter would often waft into your room. Enrollment for most of her events were always at maximum capacity. And laughter, as I said, would always frequently waft into the hallways and adjoining areas, and that would pique the curiosity and envy of those who weren't able to attend. I've been one of those people who got the door closed because it was too full, couldn't get in. Perhaps, however, she's best known for her leadership of the Texas Behavioral Support Initiative, after it was mandated by Senate Bill 1196 in 2001. Through her work on this project, she became the leading expert in our state and also was credited with developing the state's discipline flow chart for students with disabilities. That flow chart was actually used during the last reauthorization of IDEA 2004. It was taken to the U.S. Congress and was influential in the law being changed. More recently, her role as Director of Special Education Solutions at Region 4 was instrumental in earning that service center with the lead role for Child Find Evaluation and Art Supports Network, which was just awarded to Region 4 this past June. Ginger has dedicated a lifetime of service to education and has worked tirelessly to ensure access to school psychological services for students in Texas schools and charter schools. Her recent work as Director of Special Ed at Region 4 has been pivotal in ensuring that access and delivery of psychological and other special education supports and services are provided to more than 1 million students serviced by the largest regional service center in the state of Texas. Recent events in this region of the state have certainly tested and stressed her leadership abilities. But she has risen to and exceeded the demands of each of these situations. After Hurricane Harvey, when it ravaged the city of Houston and the surrounding areas, Dr. Gates' department was called on to provide supports and services to the schools that were critically impacted. Shortly thereafter, she once again answered the call to leadership when services were needed in the aftermath of the shooting at Santa Fe High School. These events were not only taxing to the available resources in the region, but they were physically and emotionally draining for her staff. Through her leadership and coordination of state, regional, and local resources, Dr. Gates and her staff worked endlessly to ensure that these districts' needs were being met following these traumatic events. Now, Dr. Gates has also served her profession through volunteer roles with different organizations. In addition to being a founding member and past president of TASP, she has been elected to serve as president of the Gulf Coast Administrators of Special Ed, as director of the School Psychology Division of the Texas Psychological Association, and as a member of the advisory board to the Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder Association of Texas. Her contributions extend well beyond her profession. Over the past 17 years, she has co-hosted an annual fundraising event for Heifer International, which is a global nonprofit organization dedicated to eradicating hunger and poverty. Through hers and her cohort's efforts, they have successfully raised a combined total of more than $80,000 for this organization. Dr. Gates is a credit to her profession and to the TASP organization which she helped found. She has earned the respect and admiration of everyone who knows her and of those who have had the honor to work with her. Through her work, she honors all of us. She represents and exemplifies what a school psychologist is all about. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to present Dr. Gates with the Lifetime Achievement Award from TASP.
They said I had to say something, which usually is not a problem for me. But oh my gosh, what do I say? Go Astros, right? Woo-hoo, at 7 o'clock, we're watching. Not really, we're attending. Watching on the side, that's right. And you know, who doesn't love that little Altuve guy? There's so many things about him that I want to be like. Small, athletic, rich. But there is one thing about him that I think I can do, and that is that he always gives credit where credit is due. And credit in this particular situation goes to the amazing people that I have always worked with and volunteered with and lived with. Y'all have raised me to a higher level. I am so passionate about the people who work every day working for kids with disabilities to be able to have a better life. Whether they are school psychologists, other assessment professionals that we partner with, those dear educators who have the kids all day long. I consider that a much harder job than what I do. And I also have to thank the woman who has put up with me for 38 years and has raised the bar to a level that I will never reach, but I still run behind her and try every day. So thank you, Gail. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all that you've meant for me. And I actually would not have chosen school psychology if it wasn't for her, because when we met in graduate school 38 years ago, I was in clinical psychology. No, I quickly found my way. Once I started working with adults, I realized, no, we don't want to do that. No. So my heart goes to you guys and the hard work that you do and the way that you bring us all up. And I look out at the young faces, my Lord, I have sweaters, some older than some of y'all. And I just know what an amazing life you have in front of you as you go forth and do this very, very important work. So thank you very much. I'm quite honored. God bless you.
Next on our agenda, we have our legislative update. We have our GPR chair and the best poster award. How could I forget? My name's Dr. Close.
Hello, I don't like following that, but for those of you who applied and were accepted to present posters, congratulations. The quality each year just exceeds the previous year, and the future is in good hands for the up-and-coming state of research in Texas, and I'll put a plug in for my friend Jeremy. Submit those posters as proposals to the journal. Okay. So, a panel of judges reviewed all of the posters, and this year's outstanding poster presentation goes to Tamara Hodges, Felicity Frost, and Allison Iterati. For Committee on Secondary Education for At-Risk Students.